My name is Claire. We have been married for 5 years. My husband's name is David. I love him very much. I thought our life was perfect. We had a small house with a big garden. I liked to plant flowers in the garden. David liked to read books on our small porch. We were happy. Or I thought we were happy. Yesterday, everything changed. I went to the park. It was a sunny day. The sky was blue. Birds were singing in the trees. I like to walk in the park. It helps me think. I sat on a bench near a small pond. Ducks were swimming in the water. Children were laughing and playing. It was a peaceful day. Then a boy walked up to me. He was maybe 6 or 7 years old. He had big, brown eyes. His hair was dark and curly. He was holding a small red ball. He looked a little lost. I smiled at him. I thought he was looking for his mother. "Hello," I said in a soft voice. "Are you okay?" The boy did not say anything. He just looked at me. He looked at my face, my hair, my eyes. It was strange. He was staring at me. Then he looked at my husband's picture. I have a small picture of David in a locket. I wear it around my neck. The locket was open. The boy pointed at the picture. His eyes were so serious. He looked at the picture, and then he looked back at me. He looked so much like David. The same dark, curly hair, the same big, brown eyes. The shape of his nose was the same. The way he smiled, a little bit on one side, was just like David's smile. My heart started to beat very fast. It felt like a drum inside my chest. Who is this boy? I thought. I felt a cold feeling in my stomach. It was a feeling of fear. I did not understand it. Why did this little boy look exactly like my husband? It was not possible. David and I have no children. We talked about it. We wanted to wait. We were happy, just the two of us. I tried to smile at the boy again. My smile felt fake. It felt tight on my face. "That is my husband," I said. My voice was a whisper. I could not speak loudly. The boy tilted his head. He looked confused. He still did not speak. He just kept looking at the picture of David. A woman called his name. "Leo, Leo, come here," she shouted from across the park. The boy, Leo, turned around. He ran to her. He gave her the red ball. She took his hand. She did not look at me. They walked away together. I sat on the bench for a long time. The sun started to go down. The sky turned orange and pink. The birds were quiet now. The park was almost empty. But I did not move. I just sat there. I thought about the boy. Leo. His face was in my mind, his eyes, his smile. It was David's face. It was the face of a little David. How could this be? My mind was full of questions. Who was he? Who was that woman? Why did he look so much like my husband? I felt a tear run down my cheek. I quickly wiped it away. I did not want to cry in the park. I needed to go home. I needed to talk to David. But I was scared. I was so scared of what he would say. I walked home slowly. My legs felt heavy. The world around me did not feel real. The trees, the houses, the cars, They all looked strange. It was like I was in a dream. A bad dream. I opened the door to our house. It was quiet. David was not home from work yet. I was thankful for that. I needed a moment alone. I went to our living room. I sat on our comfortable sofa. I looked around the room. Everything was familiar. Our pictures were on the wall, a picture from our wedding. We were so happy that day. A picture from our trip to the beach. We were smiling, and the sun was shining. Our life was in these pictures. A happy life, a simple life. But now, a big question was in the room. It was like a dark cloud. I looked at David's face in the pictures. I saw the little boy's face. It was the same. There was no doubt. I closed my eyes. I tried to breathe. My heart was still beating too fast. I thought about David. My David. He was a good man. He was kind. He always helped me. He made me laugh. He brought me flowers for no reason. He held my hand when we walked. We had been married for 5 years. I knew him. I thought I knew everything about him. But maybe I was wrong. Maybe there was a part of him I did not know. A big part. A secret. The thought of a secret hurt me. It was like a sharp pain in my chest. We promised to always be honest. We promised no secrets. I believed him. I trusted him completely. Was I a fool? Was our perfect life a lie? I heard David's car outside. My whole body became tense. I did not know what to do. Should I ask him right away? Should I pretend that nothing happened? My hands were shaking. I put them in my lap. I tried to look calm. The door opened. David came in. He was smiling. He looked tired from work, but he smiled when he saw me. "Hello, my love," he said. He came to me. He wanted to kiss me. I turned my head a little. He kissed my cheek instead. He noticed something was wrong. His smile disappeared. "Claire, are you okay? You look pale." He sat next to me on the sofa. He put his hand on my arm. His touch was usually a comfort. Today, it felt different. It felt strange. I could not look at him. I looked at my hands. "I went to the park today," I said. My voice was small. It did not sound like my voice. "That's nice," he said. "Was it a good walk?" I took a deep breath. I had to ask. I could not live with this question inside me. It was too heavy. "I met a boy," I said. David was quiet. He was waiting for me to continue. "His name is Leo," I said. I finally looked at him. I looked into his brown eyes, the same brown eyes as the boy. "He looks just like you, David, exactly like you." I saw a change in his face. It was a small change, but I saw it. I knew his face so well. He looked scared. He looked shocked. His hand on my arm tightened. He took his hand away. He stood up. He walked to the window. He looked outside. His back was to me. "David," I said, "please talk to me. Who is this boy?" He did not answer for a long time. The silence in the room was terrible. It was loud. I could hear my own breathing. I could hear the clock on the wall. Each second felt like an hour. I wanted him to turn around. I wanted him to look at me. I wanted him to tell me it was all a mistake, a big coincidence. But he did not. He just stood there, looking out the window at the dark street. Finally, he spoke. His voice was very low. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said. His words broke my heart. He was lying. I knew he was lying. I could feel it. I could see it in the way he stood. He was hiding something. He was hiding from me. Tears came to my eyes again. This time, I did not stop them. They rolled down my face. "Don't lie to me, David," I whispered. "Please, don't lie." He turned around. His face was full of pain. He looked so sad. He came back to the sofa. He sat down, but not close to me. There was a space between us. A big, empty space. "Claire," he said, "I never wanted to hurt you. You have to believe me." "Then tell me the truth," I said. "Who is Leo?" He closed his eyes. He took a long, deep breath. It was the breath of a man who was about to say something very difficult. Something that would change everything. "Leo is my son," he said. The words hung in the air. My son, my son, my son. The words repeated in my head. I felt like I could not breathe. It was like someone had punched me in the stomach. I felt dizzy. The room started to spin. David has a son. A son I never knew. A son from another woman. We had been married for 5 years. He had a 6 or 7-year-old son. The math was simple. The math was terrible. "How?" I asked. My voice was just a broken sound. "When?" "It was before you," he said quickly. "It was before I met you. A long time ago." I looked at him. I tried to see the truth in his eyes. Was he lying again? "The boy is 6, maybe 7, David. We met 7 years ago. We have been married for 5. He looked down at his hands. He could not look at me. "It was a complicated time," he said. "I was young. I was stupid. Her name is Sarah. We were together for a short time. It was not serious. We broke up." "And she had your child?" I asked. "I didn't know," he said. His voice was full of regret. "I swear, Claire, I didn't know. She moved away. I never heard from her again. I thought it was over. Then, a few months ago, she found me. She told me about Leo. A few months ago. He knew for months. He knew he had a son, and he did not tell me. He kept this secret from me for months. He lived in our house. He slept in our bed. He smiled at me. And he had this giant secret in his heart. The pain in my chest was worse now. It was a deep, burning pain of betrayal. It was not just about the boy. It was about the lie. The secret he kept from his wife. From me. "You knew," I said, my voice rising. "You knew for months, and you didn't tell me. Why, David? Why would you hide this from me?" "I was scared," he said. He finally looked at me. There were tears in his eyes, too. "I was so scared. I didn't want to lose you. Our life is so good. It's perfect. I didn't want to ruin it. I didn't know what to do. I was trying to find the right time, the right words. The right time," I said. I stood up. I could not sit there anymore. I felt too much anger, too much pain. There is no right time to tell your wife you have a secret child. You should have told me the day you found out. I started to walk around the room. I could not stand still. My mind was racing. So many thoughts, so many feelings: anger, sadness, confusion, betrayal. I was going to tell you, he said, following me with his eyes. I promise. I just needed to figure things out. I needed to understand it myself. What is there to understand? I asked. You have a son, a living, breathing little boy who looks just like you. And his mother is here, in our city. You have been seeing them. The question came out before I could stop it. The thought was horrifying. Was he meeting them? Was he living a double life? No, he said, standing up. No, Claire, it's not like that. I met him once, with Sarah, at a coffee shop, just to talk, to see him. It was a few weeks ago. I wanted to be sure. I wanted to understand the situation. I stopped walking. I looked at him. You met him. You sat with him. And then you came home to me, to our life, and you said nothing. The image of him in a coffee shop with another woman and his child filled my head. It was a picture of a family that did not include me. It was the hardest thing I have ever done, he said. Sitting there, knowing I was lying to you. It was eating me alive, Claire. I love you. You are my life. Leo. He is a part of a past I thought was gone. I wanted to believe him. A part of me, the part that loved him so much, wanted to understand, to forgive. But the hurt was too big. The lie was too deep. I can't, I said, shaking my head. I can't do this right now. I walked towards our bedroom. I needed to be alone. I needed space. Claire, please, he called after me. Don't shut me out. Let's talk about this. I don't know what to say, I said, my hand on the bedroom door. You have a son, and I am just finding out now. Because I saw him in a park. What if I never saw him, David? Would you ever have told me? He did not have an answer. That was the most painful part. The silence, the uncertainty. I went into our bedroom. I closed the door. I leaned against it. I slid down to the floor, and I cried. I cried for the life I thought I had. I cried for the man I thought I knew. I cried for the trust that was now broken. Our perfect, simple life was gone. It disappeared in a moment, in a park, with a little boy who had my husband's eyes. I stayed on the floor for a long time. I could hear David on the other side of the door. He did not knock. He just waited. I think he was crying too. Our house was filled with a sadness that was too big for its small rooms. The next few days were a blur. We lived in the same house, but we were like strangers. We did not talk much. We moved around each other carefully. The air was thick with unspoken words. The space between us on the sofa felt like a mile. The silence at the dinner table was deafening. I could not sleep. At night, I would lie in bed, staring at the ceiling. David would lie next to me, not touching me. I could feel his sadness, but I was trapped in my own. I kept seeing the boy's face. Leo, David's son. I thought about my life. I grew up in a small town. My family was simple and honest. My parents were married for 40 years. They never kept secrets. They taught me that trust was the most important thing in a marriage. It was the foundation. And now, the foundation of my own marriage was cracked. Maybe it was broken completely. I felt so lost. I didn't know who to talk to. I was too ashamed to tell my parents. I didn't want to worry them. My best friend, Sarah, a different Sarah, lived in another city. I thought about calling her, but I didn't know what to say. My husband has a secret child. It sounded like a line from a movie, not my real life. So I kept it all inside. The anger, the hurt, and something else too, curiosity. I was curious about Leo. What was he like? Did he like to play with cars? Did he like to draw? Did he have David's laugh? And I was curious about his mother, the woman from the park. Sarah. What was her story? Why now? Why did she come back into David's life after all these years? One morning, David left a note on the kitchen table. It said, "Claire, I know you need space, but I want to fix this. I love you more than anything. I have arranged a meeting. Sarah wants to talk to you. She will be at the little cafe by the library at 10 a.m. if you want to go. I will understand if you don't. I love you, David." I read the note 3 times. My hands were shaking. Talk to her. The woman who had my husband's child. A part of me screamed, no, never. But another, quieter part of me was curious. I needed answers. I could not get them from David. He was too emotional, too scared. Maybe I could get them from her. I spent the whole morning thinking. Should I go? What would I say? What would she say? I was scared. I felt sick to my stomach. But I knew I had to go. I could not live in this state of not knowing. I had to face the truth. All of it. At 5 minutes to 10, I walked into the cafe. It was a cozy place. It smelled like coffee and cake. I looked around, and I saw her. She was sitting at a small table by the window. It was the woman from the park. Leo was not with her. She was alone. She looked up when I walked in. She knew who I was. Her eyes were kind. She did not look like a monster. She looked like a normal woman. She looked nervous. I walked to her table. "Are you Sarah?" I asked. My voice was steady. I was surprised. "Yes," she said. "And you're Claire. Thank you for coming." I sat down. I did not know what to say. The silence was awkward. A waitress came. I ordered a tea. Sarah already had a cup of coffee. After the waitress left, Sarah spoke. "I am so sorry," she said. Her voice was soft. "I can't imagine how you must be feeling. This is all my fault." I just looked at her. I did not expect her to apologize. "I want to explain," she said. "When David and I were together, it was very brief. We were both young. When I found out I was pregnant, I was scared. I tried to tell him, but he had already moved on. He was with someone else. I heard he was happy. I didn't want to ruin his life. So I decided to raise Leo on my own. I moved away. I never asked him for anything. I listened to her story. It was not what I expected. I thought maybe she was angry or wanted money. But she just seemed sad. Why come back now? I asked. Why tell him after all these years? She took a sip of her coffee. Leo started asking questions, she said. He wanted to know about his father. He deserves to know his father. And I found out I am sick. I need surgery. The doctors are hopeful, but there are risks. I was scared. I realized that if something happened to me, Leo would have no one. He needed to know David. And David needed to know him. Her words hit me hard. She was not trying to hurt me. She was trying to protect her son. It was a mother's love. I understood that. David didn't know about Leo until a few months ago, she continued. I found him online. I sent him a letter. He was shocked. He didn't believe me at first. Then he saw a picture of Leo. He knew. She looked at me directly. He loves you very much, Claire. He told me that. He was so worried about telling you. He was terrified of losing you. He said you were the best thing that ever happened to him. Hearing this from her was strange. It made David's fear feel more real. It was not just an excuse. He was truly afraid. We talked for almost an hour. She told me about Leo. He was smart and funny. He loved to build things with blocks. He was a good boy. She showed me a picture of him on her phone. He was smiling. It was David's smile. My heart ached when I saw it. When I left the cafe, my mind was clearer. I was still hurt. I was still angry at David for his secret. But I understood the situation better. It was not a simple story of a husband cheating. It was a complicated story of past mistakes and difficult choices. When I got home, David was there. He was sitting at the kitchen table, waiting. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. You went, he said. It was a statement, not a question. Yes, I said. I sat down across from him. We need to talk, really talk. No more secrets. And we did. We talked for hours. He told me everything. He told me about his fear, his shame, his confusion. He cried. I cried. We let out all the pain that had been trapped inside our quiet house. He told me he wanted to be a father to Leo. He wanted to be in his life. But he also wanted me. He said he could not do it without me. He asked for my forgiveness. I did not have an answer. I loved him. But trust is like a mirror. Once it is broken, you can put the pieces back together, but you can still see the cracks. I told him I needed time. Time to think. Time to heal. The next weekend, David asked me to do something very difficult. He asked me to meet Leo. He wanted us to meet properly. Sarah would be there too. He said he wanted all the parts of his life to be in one place. He wanted honesty. I was terrified. But I knew I had to do it. I could not make a decision about my future without facing this reality. We met at the park again. The same park where I first saw Leo. It was a sunny Saturday afternoon. Sarah and Leo were waiting for us on a bench. When we walked up, Leo looked at David. His eyes were wide. He had seen his father in a picture, but seeing him in person was different. David knelt down so he was at Leo's level. "Hello, Leo," David said. His voice was shaking a little. "I'm David. I'm your dad." Leo was shy. He hid behind his mother. Sarah gently encouraged him. "It's okay, sweetie. This is your dad." I stood back and watched. My heart felt like it was breaking and healing at the same time. It was a beautiful and painful moment. David was so gentle with him. He did not push. He just waited. After a few minutes, Leo took a small step forward. He looked at David. "You look like my picture," he said softly. David smiled. A real, warm smile. "You look like my picture too," he said. They spent some time talking. David asked him about his red ball, about school, about his favorite cartoons. Leo slowly started to open up. He started to smile. It was amazing to watch. They were strangers, but they were also father and son. The connection was there. It was real. Then Leo looked at me. He walked over to me. He looked at me with those big, brown eyes. "You are the lady from the park," he said. I smiled. "Yes, I am. My name is Claire." "Are you my dad's friend?" he asked. I looked at David. He was looking at me. His eyes were full of hope and fear. What was I? What were we now? I looked back at Leo. "Yes," I said. "I am his very good friend." For now, that was the truth. We spent an hour at the park together. It was strange. It was awkward. But it was also okay. We were 4 people, tied together by a secret. Now the secret was out, and we had to figure out how to live with it. Over the next few weeks, things slowly started to change. David started spending time with Leo every weekend. Sometimes I went with them. Sometimes I didn't. I needed my own space to process everything. I watched David become a father. He was good at it. He was patient and kind. He taught Leo how to throw a baseball. He helped him with a school project. He read him bedtime stories. A part of me felt sad. This was the life I thought we would have together one day. But it was happening now, in a way I never imagined. But I also saw the man I fell in love with. The kind, caring man. He was trying so hard. He was trying to be a good father to Leo. And he was trying to earn back my trust. He never pushed me. He gave me space when I needed it. But he also showed me every day that he loved me. He wrote me little notes. He cooked my favorite meals. He held me when I cried. He kept saying, "I know I broke our promise, but I will spend the rest of my life making it up to you. I will earn your trust again." It was a slow process. Healing is not easy. There were good days and bad days. On bad days, the anger and hurt would come back. I would remember the secret, the lie, and I would feel that sharp pain in my chest again. But on the good days, I would see David laughing with his son. I would see the joy in Leo's face. And I would see the love in David's eyes when he looked at me. The love was still there. It was real. One afternoon, I was sitting in our garden. I was planting new flowers. David and Leo were playing in the grass. They were building a tower with blocks. Leo was laughing. It was a beautiful sound. David looked over at me. He smiled. It was a smile of pure happiness. In that moment, I realized something. My old life was gone. The simple, perfect life I thought I had was a dream. But maybe a new life could be built. A different life. A more complicated life. But maybe a good life too. I could choose to hold on to the anger. I could choose to leave. And some days, I thought about it. It would be easier in some ways. To start over. To find a simple life again. But then I looked at David. And I looked at Leo. This little boy who was now part of our world. He was innocent in all of this. He did not ask for this complicated family. He just wanted a father. That evening, after Leo went home, David and I sat on the porch. The sun was setting. The flowers in the garden looked beautiful. "I love you, Claire," he said softly. He said it every day. But tonight, it felt different. I took his hand. "I love you too, David." He looked at me, surprised. I had not said it back to him in a long time. "I am still hurt," I said. "And I am still scared. It will take a long time to fully trust you again. Our life will never be the same." "I know," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "I will wait. I will do whatever it takes." "I know you will," I said. I took a deep breath. I think I want to try. I want to try to build a new life with you. With Leo." Tears streamed down his face. He held my hand tightly. "Really?" he whispered. "Really?" I said. A small smile appeared on my face. It was the first real smile in a long time. It has been a year since that day in the park. Our life is not simple. It is messy and complicated. There are visits with Sarah to coordinate. There are school events for Leo. There are moments when I still feel a sting of sadness for the past. But our life is also full of joy. It is full of laughter. Leo is a wonderful boy. He is smart and kind. He calls me Claire. He sometimes holds my hand. He draws pictures for me. They hang on our refrigerator. David is a wonderful father. And he is a better husband. He is more open, more honest. He knows the value of trust now. He never takes it for granted. The cracks in our marriage are still there, but we have filled them with something stronger: honesty, forgiveness, and a new kind of love. Sometimes I think about that day my world fell apart. But I now know it didn't fall apart. It just changed. It broke open to let something new in. Something unexpected. Something beautiful. My name is Claire. I am married to David. And he has a son I never knew. But now I know him. And in a strange, complicated way, he is becoming my son too. Our family is not what I planned, but it is my family, and I am learning to love it. Life is not always easy, but sometimes The most difficult paths lead to the most beautiful places. And for that, I am thankful. You might feel lost right now. You might feel like your life is broken. But please keep going. You are stronger than you think. You can build something new. You can find happiness again. It is okay to be scared, but don't let fear stop you. You can do this.